friends, this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and I am here with a special edition video, and I am going to be sharing what I accomplished in 2024 as far as my Brenda Gervais, year of Brenda, or with thy needle and thread, Brenda Gervais. I talked about at the beginning of last year that I was going to do a year focusing on With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais, our interchangeable names, throughout the year. It wasn't the only thing I was going to work on, and I did have other finishes. I am not going to share those on a separate video, but if you're interested, they're sprinkled in throughout my videos from the past year. But I did want to do a special video sharing all of the Brenda pieces that I was able to finish. So, without further ado, my finishes from Brenda Gervais. All right, for the first finish I had in 2024, it was the Needleworker Sampler, and it was stitched as my blessing sampler. I started and finished this in the month of January of 2024, and I love this. I do not remember what fabric. I want to say this is maybe creme brulee or something like that. I don't remember. If you're interested in the fabric, you can go back to my videos from January of 2024 and they will tell all of the details. Some of them I remember, some of the details I don't remember. I did change the colors, I believe. I'm pretty sure some of the colors were a little bit different. I might have brightened them up a little bit, but I love this, and it normally sits right above me in the shelves. So this was my first finish of 2024 from With Thy Needle and Thread. Then in February, I was able to finish every opening flower, and this was not a start and finish. This was just a finish. I had it started from when it first came out. It was first released at a Dying to Stitch retreat as a extra that you could purchase, and then it became widely released. And as soon as I could get it kitted, I did get it kitted from Dying to Stitch, and I love it. I love this frame. I had got this framed at Michael's, I believe. Yeah. I used all of the called for colors, and this is on the called for fabric, which is 36 count Winter Brew by R&R. So this is one of my most favorite pieces. And if you're looking for a stitch that is the fun from the beginning to the end, I would highly recommend this. The next one, which this was in March, I was able to finish, and I did not fully finish this yet, and I was trying to fully finish it before I did the video, but I just need to get the video done. So I will get this done before I put out spring decor this year, but it's not fully finished. But it is 'Tis Spring, and I have done all but one of the stitches in this series that Brenda has done. I didn't finish the Christmas one, so that will probably be on my list to get done. It was on my list in December and I didn't get it done. But this, again, I used all of the called for colors on the called for linen, which I believe is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. She might call for 40, and if she does, this is 36. In April, I was able to finish Where Liberty Dwells. I started and finished this, and this is on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus with the called for colors, I believe. And I've just finished it into a pillow. There is no trim. I might add trim, but I haven't decided. I also finished No, that was all for April. Then in May, I finished Bluebird Out My Window. And this was a kit that I bought from the Little Red Hen when I was at the Farm Girl Dry Goods Retreat in Amana. And so I'll always remember this piece. I did choose my own backing fabric, but it did come as a full kit. So I think it might be a slight conversion. So it's the kit from Little Red Hen. But I love that piece too. And I also was able to finish, this is Seasons of the Heart Summer. And this is a series of all four seasons that Brenda did. It's in a booklet. And I have done all of them but one. I haven't done autumn. So maybe autumn will be on my list this year. The winter and the spring, I have the little tag. This one I didn't do the tag, so I just stuck a bow. For the time being, I might put the tag there. But this was a whip, and I picked it up and was able to finish it. So some of these were whips that I finished. Some of them were new starts and finishes. All right, in June, I had another finish, but not a Brenda finish. In July, I finished Summer Swan, and this was on 40 count vintage country mocha using all of the called for colors. And I backed it. And even the swan is stitched in arrowhead, and that's what she called for. It's a little light. I know she did in the autumn one, which I also stitched. She switched the swan to grits. So if you haven't stitched the summer one yet and you're not liking the colors of arrowhead, which is slightly muted, you might want to switch the color to grits. But I enjoyed this. I think my favorite part is the flag and the star on the flag. I just think it's so pretty. So I finished that in July. I also finished Queen of the Needle, and I could not find that one. That is a small pillow, and if I find it at some point, I will I'll put a picture of it right here. I think I have a picture of my finish, but I couldn't find the actual pillow. I also finished in July Maker and Mender, which this was a whip from 2023, I think. Or I'm pretty sure 2023. I started it right after the Jingle Ball in January. A bunch of us were doing it as a stitch along, and I fell behind and then just kind of sat there, and I wanted to get it done. So I did change some of the colors. I know for sure the letters I changed to 926 DMC. And then I brightened up the bird, and like this red is a little brighter. It's a color in cotton, but I cannot remember which color it is. I think on one of my videos, I have the color conversion, or I put it on Instagram, but I didn't write it down anywhere else. So if you're interested, check out those two places. But again, this I got framed at Michael's. And that also sits up above me during my videos. So that was in July. Then in August, I finished Witch's Night Out. And this was a whip. It was a very little was done. I had started it at StitchCon the previous year, so in 2023. I'm all confused now because today's January 1st, 2025. So now I got to figure out my years. So I had done this the previous year at StitchCon, and just tiny start. And it is on Weathered Stone, I believe, by Atomic Ranch. And I am pretty sure I used all the called for colors. And then I just put a little bow up here at the top, and I have some of the Creating Memories fabric from Tilda. I also was able to finish When Pumpkins Glow, and this was a WIP from the previous year, and I pulled it out and was determined to get it done. Brenda finished this on a panorama board from Chantel at 141 Design Company. I have the board. I decided to finish it into a pillow. So it's a long pillow. I used the rickrack and the ribbon that came in the kit. I bought the kit from Farm Girl Dry Goods, but then I turned it into a pillow, and I have it sitting in an On the Ledge box from Chantel at 141 Design Company, which has proven to be a very versatile box. It's like the On the Edge, which is the small box with the little, you can put stuff in the front. The On the Ledge is a longer box, and you can also put things. So if you are looking for something besides just a dough bowl, that's a really good product, and I'll put a link below to that. But I love this. You would think it wouldn't take very long because the most dense is in the middle, but all of this stuff down here took a long time. But I'm really glad to have this done. So that was also finished in August. In September, I did not finish any Brenda. And in October, I finished Autumn Swan. This I used all the called for on the 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. And this is the Swan in grits. So I'll show you the comparison. This is Arrowhead and this is grits. So you can see the difference. I also, to Autumn Swan, I left off the word autumn at the bottom. And over here, there was another pumpkin, but I wanted them to be more similar in size. This one's a little taller, but this was going to be much longer, and I didn't want it to be like that, so I took that part off. But I love that. I have the Christmas one. I didn't end up getting time to stitch it, so hopefully I will pull that out at some point this year to get that done. I also started and finished Boo to You, and I do not know what fabric this is. I did use the called for colors. Love this. So I finished this also in October. Then in November, I finished Merry Old Soul. This was a WIP, and it was almost done. I needed to finish this and like a little bit of the border, and it was done. So this was a quick finish. And again, I used Creating Memories. A lot of them I used the Creating Memories line from Tilda because it was just perfect for finishing. So this one I was able to finish in November. That was all for November. And then in December, pretty sure I finished this in December. I picked this up. This was a WIP as well. And I was able to finish this. And this is, cannot think of what the chart is called right now, but I was able to get it finished. I'm drawing a blank. But I absolutely love this piece. I love the green frame. I will probably hang this up somewhere in my craft room so that I can enjoy it while it's not hanging up downstairs during Christmas because it's just so pretty. So, love this. And this frame is from Michaels as well. So I think everything except for the first one I had got framed at Michaels. I have had a good experience at my Michaels. However, the person who was working there, she stopped, and I did when I got that piece back, that looked okay, but I had taken another piece, and granted, it did have straight lines around the sampler, but they just could not get it straight. And I understand it's hard. However, I have decided to purchase frames, and then I'm going to frame it myself. So I do have, oh, this is one more finish. Hold on one second. I forgot. I did have one more finish in December, and that was Peace and Goodwill. And so what I did for this one is I finished stitching it, and I ended up going to Hobby Lobby, and I had a frame made, and I haven't framed it yet, but this is the frame. So I will get that framed soon. I did, and I talked about this on all my videos, I used all the called for colors for this piece on Hazelwood by Fiber on a Whim, and I changed the house to pink, but the pink is Wood Rose from Gentle Arts, which is already within the chart. So I didn't add any colors. I just changed the house from the kind of gold color to the pink. So that was my last finish for my year with Brenda Gervais. And so that gave me a total of 16 with thy needle and thread finishes for the year. So I had so much fun focusing on her pieces. She is one of my favorite designers, if not my favorite. I just love everything she has. I have most of her charts, and if I haven't stitched them, they're either a whip or they are a chart in my stash. And for the most part, when new charts come out, I buy them all. Unless there's one that I really don't feel like I'm going to stitch, which it doesn't really happen often, but sometimes. And I end up buying it later on. However, I love her charts. I love everything about it. I am excited to stitch the Christmas swan. I'm excited to see. I'm thinking there's a spring swan maybe coming. I'm thinking market time, perhaps. I don't know. Just guessing. I really know nothing. But it was a really fun year stitching her stuff. And as you know, if you do watch my channel, and if you don't know, I'll say it here. For 2025, my plan is to focus on Plum Street and Stacy Nash Designs. Both of those, I'm going to retreats with those designers, and they're also in my top designers that I just love their pieces, and very classic kind of, and they go with my decor, which is the main part of why I stitch, is to put it out and show people, or like have it as decoration. I have a lot of both of their designs, and I feel like it's not going to be hard to stitch their things, just like it was not hard to stitch mainly Brenda Gervais. I will preface also that I'm not just going to stitch their stuff. I still will stitch on other designers because there are so many amazing designers, and I love their things too. It's just helping me to kind of have a focus and get things done. And like you can see, and a lot of them were smaller designs, but all of these are things I didn't have stitched before, and I can put them out in my decor. So that was 16 pieces I didn't have done before that I was able to accomplish this year. So that is my Brenda Gervais finishing. If you are new, you can go back to last year it was either the end of the year or the beginning of January. I did do a whip parade with solely Brenda Gervais pieces that were whips. I still have some of those, and you can kind of compare if you want to see which ones I did get done. I have some bigger pieces I still want to get back to eventually, but like I said, I'm going to kind of focus on some other designers this year to switch it up, and I'm really excited. So thank you so much for joining me, for looking at my finishes and being with me throughout the year. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.